How you doing, Cancer? Get right into this Celtic cross for Cancer. Messages that you should know, that you don't know, you should know, that will help you onto your highest path. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, rising as well. Cancer, Celtic cross for Cancer. Messages that you should... Whoa. I'm going to pick that up. Celtic cross for Cancer. 7 of coins, 6 of coins. This is working hard. What crosses you? Being charitable, taking care of others. Working hard, perseverance. Trying to persevere. Diligence. But what crosses you from working hard and persevering and being diligent? 6 of coins. It's being charitable. Caring for others. Maybe you have a lot of responsibilities, children, pets. Being over giving and over charitable. And it tends to interfere with your work. Things that you should do and you need to do, or sorry. So what crosses you from working hard and persevering? Being charitable, overgiving, overdoing. That's a very Cancer trait of you. But it tends to interfere with things that you should be doing and you could be doing. Maybe you're even avoiding it a little bit, or just being so caught up with everything around you that you never really get to working on the things that you would really like to work on. That you give so much to everybody else that you don't give a lot back to yourself. I'm not going to pick it up because it came. Your foundation, Chariot, this is you. What's stopping you from putting the work in? Taking care of others because you are leaving, or you have plans to leave, maybe a trip, a vacation. Or someone around you has a trip or vacation. But you're ready to move forward onto something new. Maybe a new adventure. Now in the past, 7 of Swords. In the past, you felt like you moved away from something. In the past, now Seven of Swords, it isn't always sneaking away in the night. Sometimes it means going forward or going forward towards something because you have hope for something better in the future. And it's leaving something behind, though, in the past. Maybe someone left you behind. Maybe someone around you, a significant other, family member, friend, sibling, somebody that wasn't all that there for you, or you feel like you weren't all that there for them. Perhaps you had some hard feelings about it, or a fear of abandonment, or even a sense of feeling resentful in a way. But you're ready to move forward on all of that. Now, your goals, your conscious awareness, the best it can be accomplished is the Empress. Now, the Empress can be a wife, a mother, someone nurturing, someone loving. Maybe you want to be more loving and you want to show your love more, and maybe it's a sense of overcompensating for the people around you because you feel like they weren't given the best treatment or attention, and you tend to overcompensate for that. Maybe it could be a child, and you would like to be better nurturer. The Empress is someone who is also usually depicted as someone pregnant, someone ready to birth something into existence, something brand new. But that's your goal, to be more nurturing, be more loving. You want to birth something into existence. It could be even a business, a creative endeavor. And it's like there's been so much that you have to do around you that you never really seem to be able to get it off the ground. You have a lot of ambition. You have a lot of want to put the work in to actually start something brand new, or even to be a better mother and nurturer. But if it is a business, it's just been hard going. It's just been so much, and it's like you have so much responsibility. Maybe you even need a break because you care so much about everyone else that you never really have time to put in the work towards the things that you need to do. And in the past, you could have dealt with people who like to take a chunk of your energy, time, resources, attention. but you're wanting to move forward from being resentful, and you just want to make the best of it. Maybe you do have a trip that's coming up, you or someone around you, and it's hard to manifest something in particular, whether it is a new job, business, or goal, because of so much attention that everyone tends to need around you or from you. Perhaps you have a trip coming up ahead of you, or someone around you has trips for a plan. Could be a child or lover and or parent, maybe even a mother. They have some travel plans, maybe even a daughter, but they have some travel plans coming up, and you want to make sure you're as supportive and loving as possible, because you know that something is up ahead, that you're moving forward in some way. And maybe it seems a bit needed for you now, because it seems like it's overwhelming with all the stuff that you have going on, that you haven't been able to put in the work in. What is just before you? Judgment. This is final decision about something. If it was a relationship that was around you, someone who is offering you something in particular. Now this could also be something as in like giving to get, giving with some kind of agenda. Or you were kind of being there for everyone else, and it was distracting you from your work or things that you need to do because of someone offering you something, but maybe there was some kind of agenda. Maybe somebody offered something to you. Maybe someone who wasn't there for you all that much, and they want to kind of make it up to you somehow. Or maybe they only seem to want to give you something when they want something in return, maybe even to be seen in a better way, or because they know that they would get something in return back. But this is charity as well. Maybe it could be you being too charitable with your time and energy towards other people, and it's been distracting you. What's ahead of you is a final judgment in something. A final decision, looking at everything and judging it how it should be. This could also be going forward with a decision that was made or plans that was made, something about a trip or moving ahead or going forward. 8 of Clubs, how you see yourself. You're moving away from something. Maybe somebody that somebody who can be you're moving away towards something brand new. with hope to see something brand new, adventures, beginnings. Leaving something behind that was, less than fulfilling in a way. You could be dealing with a Taurus or a mother. Maybe a mother wants to make you an offer, or a Taurus, and they're offering something from you, like, or to you in some kind of way. Or maybe because it's like, maybe you found out whatever that they were offering you was, it kind of came with strings attached in some way, and maybe you kind of saw this, and you decided to make a final call on it and walk away. It could be even due to like somebody around you who was offering you something. Maybe they had some kind of interest in you, romantic interest in you. They were offering you something, a trip or plans or assistance in some kind of way. But it came with some kind of strings attached. And whatever they were offering you, it kind of seems a bit, I don't know, was it manipulative, or maybe you felt like it, like it was one of those things when somebody comes around and they kind of offer you something because, they want to sleep with you and you're really not interested in this person and you're not about it. So then you walk away from it. You're like, no, I'm good, and not only does it seem kind of empty, it seems like you're kind of distracting me from what I need to do anyway, because I don't even know if I really want this offer, because I feel like you expect something if I take it. And it's like, do I even want that kind of like expectation, And maybe this person does have some kind of expectation from you. Like if you do take something from them, like they expect something from you in return. But you're going to make a final judgment about it. And that's walking away because you're not really too keen on it. It seems a bit manipulative, and it's like you don't really want to sell yourself. It's like, who do you think you are? Why do you want to offer me this? What exactly is the reasoning or goal? And in the past, if you were dealing with this person, it might have been kind of like, they could have been kind of shady in some kind of way, like kind of sleazy, like they wanted to, kind of get in the sack with you, and they were trying all angles and able to do that. And it was somebody trying to play some kind of game into like, oh, well, if I give you this, like I expect this from you, and it's like, ugh, no thank you, I'm good, I'm gonna make a final judgment and move ahead. When you show that you weren't really interested, now they feel kind of stuck. Maybe they feel like they need to see something in a new angle, or maybe they need to see something in a new perspective. If this is somebody like a friend, or a romantic interest, or at least they have an interest in you. You never really showed them like that you were interested all that much, but because you always felt like that there was like, maybe you weren't really interested, or maybe you kind of showed them that you weren't really interested, and maybe it's somebody that kind of offered you something in particular, or kind of made their moves on you, or just kind of opened the door like, hey, you know, showed you some text and wanted it returned. But it's like they tried this before, and it's like you already told them that you weren't interested. And it's not that you're playing hard to get, it's probably because you're not interested. And if somebody doesn't show you that kind of return, then it's usually because it's you're not interested, you know. And it's like the fact that they're still pushy about it, and the fact that they kind of push the issue, or you didn't respond to that text. It's like, oh, what do you think of me, blah blah blah, and you didn't respond, and that they call and ask again. It's like, dude, really? Like, not only is it kind of pushy and intrusive, it feels like, what do you take me for? You want to give me all of this stuff because, like, or you want to give me this assistance and help because you think you could get in the sack with me after I showed you that I wasn't really all that interested. And now they kind of feel stupid now. They kind of feel stuck. Maybe they see you as stuck. Maybe it's because they think that you're undecided, even though you didn't really show them all that much, as in, like, of any kind of interest, because they think that, oh, maybe you're not sure, or maybe you're playing hard to get, or maybe they didn't, you know, you didn't get their message, or it's like, dude, kind of like, there's this sense of like not reading your cues all that much. And they think it's like, oh, well, maybe you're undecided. No, dude, because if somebody's not showing you like a mutual kind of interest, is because they're not really all that interested, or you're not really all that interested, right? So your hopes and fears of attaining the goal. Knight of Coins. Now the Knight of Coins is like, they're the slowest knight of the deck. It's because they're really careful. They really like overlook all of, you know, the angles, what's the benefits, what's the minuses in the situation, if it's worth it, what am I going to get out of it, if it's something that's going to be lasting or worth it. And that's why they're the slowest knight, because they want to make sure that it's like a good playing ground to even bother to go and spend time and energy, or expel time and energy out of. Maybe you've been overthinking about things in general, that, and maybe even in this business venture, in a way that if you should still continue to do it, if you should still move ahead. Maybe money is slow coming in some kind of way, or maybe you're thinking that, oh, well, is this something going to be working out? And it's really blocking you from putting in the work, putting in the energy in something that you set out to do in the beginning. But it made you slow to move. It's like this overthinking that stopped yourself from moving ahead. Because I don't know, you just don't want to rush into anything, or you're unsure if it's going to work out. But while you're wondering if it's going to work out, it seems like you're wasting a lot of time into actually achieving the things that you need to do. And whether it is taking care of everything and you're just so damn exhausted throughout the day, by the end of the night, you're done. And then you're like, instead of working on your projects that you need to do, you're starting to wonder if you should go through it or towards it. Or if it's somebody that's coming around, like showing you some kind of interest, and it's like you showed in multiple ways that you weren't really reciprocal in it because you want to be more careful in who you invest your time and energy in, because you've dealt with a lot of people who totally like took up your time and energy and didn't give you a lot back. And whether it is like family or friends or work relationships, or in many ways, you found yourself kind of regretful that you wasted as much time as you did because you didn't go forward or towards it when you feel that you should have. But instead of actually putting the work in or going towards something, you kind of wonder if you should do it in the beginning or in the and continue to put in the work in the first place. If this is somebody that's interested in you and you weren't really all that about it, and you've kind of felt it was like kind of manipulative, it's giving to get in some kind of way, you were just like not about it at all. It's like they weren't taking like a clue. It's like the game Get a Clue. It's like I wasn't interested. And it's like, and if you want to be friends, cool. Like, I'm down to being friends, but if you keep on being creepy like that, then I'm gonna move ahead. I'm gonna call on it, because it's like, yeah, I don't mind taking assistance. Like, I'm not so egoist that I wouldn't take assistance, but I'm not going to give assistance just because you think I'm going to sleep with you. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, then I'm going to just move ahead. I'm going to call it and move ahead, and I'm going to walk away from this. And they're like, oh, well, they're just in this undecided. It's like, nah, dude, I'm not undecided. It's just because it doesn't seem like it's a good deal for me. And I actually want something new. A brand new beginning, a brand new emotional beginning. In the past, this person was just kind of sneaky, though. Maybe they like to be kind of manipulative, or, they kind of like to give to get in some kind of way, or they're only offer to give if they think they'll get something in return. And maybe at first they seem like, oh, it's just a really nice person, and in the end they're like just trying to get in your pants this whole time. And it's like, oh, gross. Like, I think I'm good. I'm just, no thank you. Like, I don't need all of that. I don't. I'm kind of busy. I need to put in the work in. I just try to be like equitable. I try to reach out because maybe you did need to, I don't know, unburden yourself in some kind of way. And I was being over charitable than the time that I actually had, because maybe you're so empathetic and caring. You care about the people around you. So like, you did want to reach out. Maybe they reached out to you, but then it got kind of sleazy and gross again, and this could have been somebody you knew for a really long time. And it's like, it's the same kind of BS. Like, like, you just can't hang out without being creepy. Like, I don't know. If this isn't someone around you that you have some kind of history with, then maybe it's somebody that's going to come into your, maybe you're going to meet this person. Maybe you're going to meet somebody new that you're going to go ahead forward, and you're going to move away from this situation and start something brand new, a new emotional beginning. Page of Cups. Somebody wants to offer you something, or you want to offer something, a new emotional beginning. Which you don't see. Maybe somebody wants to reach out to you or give you some kind of offer. Maybe they have been wanting to give you some kind of offer, but I don't think you're all that interested. And I don't even think that you spent a lot of time like showing that you were interested in that way. And I think you would rather spend your time with somebody that you actually have a lot of feelings for. That's something, and somebody that you think that there'll be a future with. And this, maybe what you have now isn't that kind of thing. Like maybe this person has some habits, like, you know, they tend to party too much. They tend to drink too much. Like they, you know, like, or they're too needy in some kind of way. And that's why, you know, maybe you seem kind of hesitant to them because they're so overly, like, you know, kind of pushy in a way, especially if you didn't show them like a mutual kind of interest. It was just them showing you interest. And maybe they would even be like, kind of bitchy about it when you kind of didn't return their call or you didn't react the way that they would want you to. And it's like you don't really have an obligation, you know, to act a certain way or give them a result or, you know, that they want. It's like they expect you to justify yourself that, you know, you're not reacting the way that they want you to. And that's why you're just kind of done with it. You would rather have something new. And you're not really about somebody that wants to come towards you acting like they're your friend and offer you assistance like they're your friend and just be kind of sleazy about it and just kind of like manipulative about it. Like, oh, are you offering this to me because, you know, like you do know me so well and you want to help me out, or you just want to sleep with me. And if you think that you're going to offer this to get a chance to sleep with me in some kind of way. But somebody does want to offer you something, but I don't think you're all that interested. And they see you as kind of stuck, or they think that you need to see something in some kind of perspective, but it's like they're looking at you, thinking that you got something else going on, and maybe they could even be kind of pissy about it. Maybe in the past, this person was kind of sleazy in the way, or just kind of like, ugh. I'm getting kind of creepy vibes here. And if somebody has like an interest in you, or you have an interest in somebody, I think it's really important that you're around somebody that could read your cues. You know, because if you have someone around you that could read your cues, then you know that they have some kind of like emotional, like understanding or emotional empathy where they could look at somebody and or you could look at they could look at somebody and they kind of have an idea of like, you know, if you're interested or not, or if you're like reciprocal or not, or, you know, it's like they were just kind of really pushy about it. And that's what kind of turned you off about it. It's like they weren't really considering how you really felt about it. They just wanted to shoot their shot and then see what happens. And when you have somebody that's so kind of clueless like that, who's unable to read clues around you, it really makes you think about how like copacetic or like empathetic they really are. Like maybe this person can be kind of bullish in a way that, you know, like they can be kind of pushy. Like they're more interested in what they want or what they could get from it than wanting to read about your needs. And if it's about your needs, it's pretty much getting to give, giving to get something in return. Instead of like being at like, oh, well, what do you need? And, you know, like I'll be there to help in something, but it's like, no, I'll be there to help. I'll offer to help or whatever. It's because I want to get in your pants. And it's like, ew, gross. If this is somebody around you, this is somebody that you don't have a lot of trust in, or you're just not really excited about in any kind of way, because it's like it's a pushiness. Like maybe if you would spend more time with the person, if they actually try to actually put in the work, and that's why they would be offering all of this stuff. Oh, do you need help with this, or do you need help with that? But before they, you know, like they even did that help or actually carried out whatever that they said that they would want to do for you or help you with, they're already trying to make a move on you without actually putting that help or assistance in. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and that's the sneakiness about it. It's like, oh, I want to help to do this with you, or I want to help you do this because I know you're having trouble and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, yeah, sure. I do need help with that. But then they're trying to be like, so, you know, like when we're going to go out, you know, before they even helped you with that thing, because they want to just see what they're going to get. Because if they even bother to put that effort in, you know, it's like, well, you know, okay, well, you want that help like I offered you. Well, what's the chances that you're going to sleep with me first? And let me try to make a move on it before I put that time and energy in. And it's like, ew, that's kind of like creepy, you know? It's like maybe you would think differently about the person if they were kind of genuine about their offer, but they're like, well, if I'm going to do this for you, what can you do for me? And it's like, nah, dude, I think I'm good. Never mind. I don't need it that bad. So, you know, and if you're really that nice of a person, you know, you would have offered that help without expecting anything in return. Or they would have offered that help without expecting you in return. Not offer assistance and then try to make a move on you to see if how you're going to react, to see if you're going to bother to still help. You know, it's kind of gross. And that's why you're like, ew, I don't know. You know, I just don't know. There's a need to move forward to something, though, whether it is a job aspect or, you know, a business endeavor. And I think if it's not a business endeavor, it's just a model of of the relationships that you want to have in your life, or like, you know, the time and energy that you put into other people, and if it ended up really being worth it in the end. You know, it's like, did I expel my energy into too much before it was even really worth it? Like, what does this person really mean to me anyway? As in, like, yeah, they're friends, you want to be friendly, you want to help out and give assistance, or, you know, But then you found yourself like kind of over giving into the situation, or maybe you have a habit of like being so overly involved in other people or other people's situations that you haven't quite got a handle onto controlling your energy enough to being like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry you're going through this, but I gotta go, I got things to do, because you're trying to like offer that hand of assistance or help if somebody calls or needs. But I mean, what are you really getting out of it either? Is it something that's going to be lasting? Is it something that it's going to be like, if it's just an acquaintance, is it worth it to put all that time and energy in? And it's like they don't even have that, a lot of like that respect for you to try to read your feelings about it. They just want to be pushy about it. And if they didn't get the response that they wanted from you, they kind of be pushy again. And you're like, no, I think I want something new. I think I want to wait for something better. Like, I don't really want to settle, especially if it's somebody that's pushy like that can't even read my cues. And he's like, okay. Then he walks away. He or she, they walk away. Because, you've got everything that you need. I feel like maybe you even have a trip coming up, a trip or vacation going planned, and it's going to be something brand new. And whatever you're leaving behind, it was kind of really immature anyway. It was kind of sneaky. I mean, it's a page and the Seven of Swords. It's someone that's kind of like, I don't know, like sleazy. Someone a little immature. Someone who hasn't quite grown up yet. I mean, if they offer to give you assistance, like, why are they going to try to make moves on you first before they even carry out that offer? It's kind of gross. It's like, oh, well, I want to see if you're like interested first before I even bother. And it's like, well, why did you offer in the first place? Because you thought that you could sleep with me because I accepted that offer, but it's like, well, I'm good, dude. I don't even really want that offer, You kind of go ahead and keep that offer because there's something kind of sleazy about this person. And that's why you're kind of moving ahead. I don't know. What's the advice? Advice, advice, advice. Interesting. So, in the past, the thinking woman maybe in the past you were kind of impulsive in who you spent your time and energy with. Maybe people kind of got the wrong idea about that. maybe people tend to get the wrong idea just because you come off initially friendly and then all of a sudden they think that you want to sleep with them. And I don't really know what that's about. It's like the wrong idea, you know? It's like somebody has the wrong idea. Somebody wasn't really thinking all that much of who they were hanging out with or who they were around. And maybe that's why they would kind of let people into their environment that would be kind of sleazy, you know? Maybe somebody that you were dealing with in the past was kind of impulsive, that they would make a lot of actions and moves without really thinking about it because it's like kind of opportunistic. But it's like you weren't really all that interested, and I don't think you actually showed that you were all that interested. It's a person not around you, just not reading your cues, and that's why you're like, you know, I don't know. A woman holding their a heart is like you want to give some kind of offer. Maybe someone wanted to give some kind of offer to you. But it seems like you're wanting to give your offer towards something a little more fertile, someone a little more authentic, and someone who's not like kind of manipulative in their approach to you. And someone who doesn't expect so much time and energy. And I feel like this person kind of had an expectation to like, oh, well, what are you doing if you can't hang out with me? Or like they expect you to explain yourself. And that's something that kind of turns you off as well. And it's like, why do you have, like, why are you asking me questions like I have to explain myself if I already told you that I can't hang out? You know? It's like, yeah, we were buddies. You know, it doesn't mean I owe you any kind of explanation, you know? And that's why you kind of moved along. You decided to put your energy and, you know, your passions into your work. And then this person comes back wanting to be charitable again. It's like this person wants to come back with like a new angle. Well, if I could do this for you, maybe you could do that for me. It's giving to get. I don't know. But it's like you have a certain path in life and you have a certain goal, and this person doesn't really have it. And this is why this person is kind of needy. And they just get so kind of butthurt if you're not around all of the time, or they expect you to be a certain way around them or give you a certain reaction. And it's like they offer to do something for you where somebody around you does, but then yet they want to sleep with you first to see if they actually are gonna bother to put in that kind of work. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, that's just not the way this works. Like, it's something that's supposed to be like over time, you know? And it's like, I'm just gonna, no, thank you. I'm just gonna focus on what I got going on and my path. I'm gonna call final judgment because I got a spiritual path that I gotta go towards. I got a life path, and you know, I don't want to waste time and energy on somebody who doesn't really want to read me or my emotions either, you know? And if they, like I said, if they have no idea on how to read you, then how the hell are they going to be around to try to make you happy? They're just going to expect all this kind of stuff for you. It's somebody that's kind of like a little immature and selfish. Someone who has coddled a lot, or somebody with a really big ego. They expect you to like, you know, give them the reaction when they want that reaction. And it's like, dude, I don't have to explain myself to you. I got a path in life and I got to move towards it, you know? They see you as a path, but you have your own path, and it's not going to be to cater to someone or give someone an explanation just because they expect it from you. It just doesn't work out like that. Fifth chakra. That's the throat chakra. They think that you're stringing them along. And that's why you don't really get back to them. But that's how they don't reach you. It's like they don't get it. It's like if you're not really responding, it's because you're not all that interested. If you already told them, yeah, no, it's not going to happen, they're like, oh, well, they're just not telling me how they really feel. It's like, no, like I gave you kind of a lot of clues, like the game, get the clue, get a clue. Like, but maybe you need to make it clear to this person. Fifth chakra is that throat chakra. So maybe, it represents that ability to speak and communicate clearly and effectively. And maybe that's needed. And when it comes in the reverse, this is like someone who's kind of withdrawn or arrogant or increase anxiety in some kind of way, or maybe the person that you're dealing with is kind of arrogant. And maybe that's why you have to communicate like really directly about the situation, because it seems like this person is still not getting it. If you're not enthusiastic about it, it's like the book, oh, they're just not that into you. It's like this person didn't read that book. And it doesn't even have to be a chapter long, it's a sentence long. And you should kind of understand the meaning, and this person just doesn't get it. But maybe it's something that you would have to be really clear about, even though you feel that you have. Because this person still sees you as the hangman, and it's like you already moved away, which is crazy. And they're wondering like, ooh, well, I wonder, they're just like, oh, they're just being careful. It's like, nah, dude, because I'm not really all that interested. And maybe you have to just communicate that really, really clearly, because this person doesn't seem like they really get it. There's some sneakiness about this person. And that's why you didn't invest a lot of time and energy into it, because they're kind of envious, and I don't know if this is envy or jealousy, but it's something that you didn't even really show that you would consider. And it's like, I'm not even really thinking about it. I didn't show that I was interested or thinking about it like this. Yeah, we're friends, but we're not going to be all that much friends if you're going to be weird about it. And I think that they took offense to it in the past, if you did have a falling out in the past. And they just came back around, maybe during this Mercury retrograde. But this person is overly clingy. This person is kind of jealous and, and really needy. And they have this expectation from you. And that's why you didn't really want to invest too much into it. It's like you had a third eye, you had a foresight, and, you had an intuition about this person. that maybe I should kind of give this cup to someone else, because you have this back turned towards this Seven of Swords, because they were just kind of being kind of like, ugh, kind of gross about it. It's like, why don't you try to build up a rapport first before you offer something? You don't follow through with that offer and just see if I'll sleep with you first in order to actually give that offer. Otherwise, it's gross and sleazy. You know what I mean? If you're going to offer something, okay, actually, you know, pull through on it, and then maybe I will. But it's, this person is like so kind of aggressive, and to be like, well, I offered. And if you want that offer that I offered you, why don't you do this for me? And it's like, oh, no, thank you. You're moving away, and maybe this person is moving away and they're really hostile about it. You're moving on to brighter pastures because you feel that you have a direction in this life, and this person is like super pissed off and hostile that you're moving away. This person needs a direction in their life, and, you know, or like a goal or a passion in themselves. And, you know, it's like, this is why they're so kind of hostile, that they don't get what they want when they want it. This person is kind of overindulgent too, kind of arrogant. And that's why you're like, if I have to tell you more than once, if I didn't show you this already, silence, if they don't answer, or if you don't answer, like, silence is just as much of an answer as anything else. It's because they're not really interested, right, into actually answering it. And now they're all pissed off and hostile about it. But, you know, you're just going to call it. I'm going to make a final decision because I'm being guided by spirit. But they're like, oh, well, you know, this person didn't show me like what I wanted to hear. I'll just be patient. This person is like hella stubborn. And they're like, well, I'll get what I want eventually because I'll just be patient. Or maybe you need your patience to actually go towards a certain path, because in the past you made some kind of decision about some kind of goal or some kind of like, you know, work situation or some kind of like, you know, trip that you have in mind. And you made a final decision was made, and you are being guided by spirit. You're being careful into your plan or where you're going towards. You're trying to figure everything out. Maybe it's a need to be as clear and communicative as possible. And even if you felt like you were clear, just tell them, hey, I'm not really into it, as in like dating. You know, if you want to be friends, we could be friends. But if not, then, you know, then we're not. That's fine too. But I'm not going to be like, having someone be pushy around me to get a certain result from me and be pissy that they don't get that result. It just doesn't work that way. Nobody gets what they want like that. And if they do, it's because they're dealing with their child. And even if they're dealing with their child, there's going to be a sense of resentment towards a mother and child, you know, because you value yourself. If somebody doesn't value you enough, then especially to read you and be like, okay, I do care for you, regardless if you want to sleep with me or not. I do want to help you out. I do want to give you assistance. Then sure, then maybe something, I don't know. But it's not, if you're doing that just to like think that they could sleep with you, that's a whole nother situation. Maybe this person even made you some kind of sleazy offer too. And it's like, nah, dude, like, what do you take me for? Like, it doesn't even like, ew.
What do you take me for? You think I'm a hoe because, like, I'm gonna sleep with you because I need assistance in something? Like, no, thank you. I'll just do it myself. Like, I don't need help that much. I don't need assistance that much. Like, you offered, and I would accept because I thought it was just like a friendly gesture. But no, now I know what it's about. No thanks. I'm good, you know? And even though you said that you're good, like maybe you just have to be ultra clear with it, or I don't know. I feel like this person got something going on anyway. And maybe you feel that there was something like you felt kind of funny about it. And you're moving ahead, whatever you're moving towards and guided towards, you're going to be protected. It's going to lead to something brand new, a new emotional beginning. And I don't think it's going to be with this person. You're moving away from this person, and they could be really hostile about it if they want, but it's like their feelings aren't really your responsibility, especially if they don't even read, like, they don't even take your cues enough or actually want to even see what is needed on your part, and maybe there's a need to enact some kind of boundaries because you value yourself. And even if you didn't already, or if you already did, maybe it's needed. And maybe if you didn't, maybe you need to. And if you already did, then, like, maybe it's better to just walk away from it, because this person seems like they kind of only offered it because they thought they would get something out of it. And maybe there's a need to enact some kind of boundaries. If it's a mother in some kind of way, maybe they want to offer you something. Or they want to come around and, say that they want to give you something, but I feel you only want to invest in something that you're really, really like, that you feel that it's actually going to bring about, like, something like long term and lasting and fulfilling for you. Because I think in the past, if this was a mother figure around you, that maybe there is a sense of jealousy that they had about you or because of you. And maybe they even took you for granted in some kind of way. And maybe they come around to try to offer you something because maybe that they kind of do that as well. They kind of offer you something thinking that they could reel you back in, thinking that they'll get what they want. And maybe this person does that too. But it's like, you know what? I could see this though. I see what's going on. I see this inner resentment and hostility or this expectation, and I'm not going to have it. And boundaries is a good way to start. And even if you did, maybe you just have to be a little more clearer, because you want something that's actually going to like turn into something good, not somebody who is just thinks that they could be pushy about it to get what they want and be bitchy about it when they don't get it. It just doesn't work that way, because you're kind of following your life path here. And you don't want anyone standing in your way because you know your worth. But that's what I got for you, Cancer. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. Yeah. And I'll talk to you later. Love you lots. Donation box below if you feel moved to do so. Bye.